This video contains results and or spoilers to tonight's WWE 2012 Hell in a Cell. If you feel like you don't want to know, please turn this off now. Thank you and have a great day.
Whiplash, witch hunting black, sandpaper.
So guys, here is my Hell in a Cell recap of what happened. So if you listened to the message that came on before this, yes, spoiler alerts if you haven't seen the pay-per-view. So, but yeah, I'm gonna first start off by talking about what I thought was gonna happen in the matches that I didn't know about. And secondly, I'll go on to tell you what did happen. Okay. So first off, they had the pre-show. What I thought was gonna happen, John Cena was going to come out and say, oh yeah, me and, AJ aren't dating, aren't doing this, blah, 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 blah. But they had a bunch of tweets and touts and all this crap. The matches that I knew about were the tag team match between Team Hell No and Rhodes Scholars, the Intercontinental Championship between the champion Kofi Kingston and Challenger The Miz, the Divas Championship, the World Heavyweight WWE Championship. I actually forgot about the Alberto Del Rio and Randy Orton one until today. So that was nice. And there were some other matches on the card. So what I thought was going to happen was, because I heard it on a podcast last week that Greg was on. And of course, what I got to do now, since I said Greg's name, kabam! There you go, Greg. Another shout out for you, brother. What I thought was going to happen was there was no way CM Punk was going to beat Ryback by himself. So I heard it. Somebody said, you think they're going to bring back Brock Lesnar since that's a Paul Heyman boy? Or Big Show? So I thought one of those two was going to get involved in either knockout or F5 Ryback. I'm sorry, Ryback. I hate you. So, hashtag fire Ryback. I really won't let it happen. No offense. I hate you more than I hate Tim Tebow. Or at least in a different way. And then, in the Intercontinental match I knew about, I honestly thought Miz was going to win back his title. In the tag team match, I thought Rhodes Scholars win the titles. I thought the other team was just going to be so dysfunctional. Technically, I'm right on that one, though. The heavyweight match kind of went the way I expected. And then I thought something else was going to happen. But it still went the way that I expected. The girls match, I really, really wanted Caitlyn to win. Why WWE do you have to be so predictable? The Alberto Del Rio Randy Orton match, since I remembered about that one once the pre-show started, I thought Randy Orton was gonna lose because I thought he was filming a movie. Now here is what happened. Okay, so the pre-show started off, and I need to pick up my little notepad. Pre-show started off, and of course they were going to talk about the whole AJ scandal. Cena comes out, and by the way, while I was watching the pre-show on my phone, I was watching the, how they had that, not the free-for-all anymore because they don't really show matches. Well, they did show matches, but matches you've already seen before. But I thought I was, I saw Scott Stanford on there, but he was also commentating during the pre-show with John Cena. So Michael Cole's in the ring and he's interviewing John Cena. Cena comes out, insults Michael Cole, says he smells like raw sewage. He'd rather fight than be interviewed by a guy who smells like raw sewage. And the first question asked by Twitter, was he passing the torch to Ryback? He said no. He would rather fight. Then the next one was a tout. Asked Cena what advice he had for Ryback against Punk in the Hell in a Cell. He said brute strength won't cover it. Punk will find your weakness. Third question, Twitter. They went back and forth, by the way, so Twitter tout, Twitter tout, Twitter tout. Does he think he could be Ryback? And Cena said, let me answer that question with a question. Atlanta, because they were in Atlanta, Georgia. Do you think I could be Ryback? Had the fan saying yes, had the fan saying no. And then he said he wants to be the first person to face Ryback if he does win. And asked Cena, who was your toughest opponent ever was? That was a tout. And Cena said The Rock, and he challenged him again. He said, Rock, let's go round number 2, because I think I could beat you. Twitter question that asked Cena if he beats Ryback, will he give CM Punk his dues? And he said, yeah. Somebody asked, what would you tell Vicky Guerrero right now to all the crap that she's trying to put you through? He said one word. Silence! A tout, this is my favorite, because it was from Dolph Ziggler, actually, telling Cena to be a man. What else? And then Cena challenged Ziggler to a fight. Ziggler's music hits. Vicky Guerrero comes out, and she said that John Cena got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Ziggler comes out from behind, tries to attack Cena. Cena gets the upper hand, throws him over the top rope. And then what I thought was going to happen later on that night was somebody was going to sign the match between those two, which I think that would have been a good match on this pay-per-view event since Cena was cleared to fight. They showed the match card, and then Josh Matthews interviewed Sheamus, saying people are calling Sheamus the underdog. Sheamus says he's got a bro kick with Big Show's name on it. Then they showed the Punk Ryback promo, and then the pre-show's over. And then it's showtime. It's Cole, JBL, and JR commentating. Del Rio and Orton are first up. Tony Kimmel's there, and there's a reason why. Lillian Garcia was either in a car accident or got hit by a car, so my prayers go out to you. Also because you're a Gamecock fan too, and also to sidetrack, my prayers do go out to Marcus Lattimore and his family. In that football game yesterday, you got injured very badly, and I hope to see you back as a Gamecock next year. But please get well soon. Back to WWE. Orton starts this match off fast. I mean, he's giving it to Del Rio, throws him to the outside, smashes his head against the announce table, and this is the funniest thing that I saw. He smashed his head, and then JBL's hat, his cowboy hat, falls off, and Orton goes and puts it back on the announce table, and you just hear JBL go, "Thank you, Orton." Del Rio starts attacking the left arm to tell a story, which I thought was very cool. Because he always does that. He goes for their arm. Del Rio's a very good storyteller. He does his submission on the ropes, and does another arm submission on the ropes, which is pretty cool. And then Del Rio marks Orton. He tried to do the RKO. It got reversed, and then he got thrown into the ropes for, that cigarette DDT that Orton does. Then the cross arm breaker was countered into a snap power slam. And then later on in the match, Del Rio started getting the upper hand again, and had Orton in the corner, hang him from the top rope, and then double foot smash him, which I love seeing people do. Because they don't do it like you, Loki. They don't try to kill people. But anyway, then bad botch by both of them. Orton's standing in the ring. Here comes Del Rio off the top with a double smash, but misses Orton by about 2 feet. And then they try to both throw a punch and a kick at the same time. They don't even get close. Then Orton acts like he's about to jump for the drop kick, but Del Rio decides to run towards the ropes. So Orton's like, "Okay, come back." And then when he's coming back, he drop kicks him, which is funny. Roberto Rodriguez grabs Orton's arm and pulls it into the corner, which Del Rio got the cross arm breaker on, and Orton turned that into a pin. I thought that was going to be the end of the match right there. Not the pin, but the cross arm breaker in the middle of the ring. Then later on, Del Rio tries that enziguri, and Orton ducks it, turns it into the RKO for a 3 count, and I gave that 5 to 6 out of 10. Just because for a first match, it was pretty good. And I like both those wrestlers a lot, so. Then they showed this Cena and Ziggler from earlier, followed up by Matthews interviewing Vicky Guerrero, saying she has some pictures from an anonymous source and invites AJ to Raw. Paul Heyman comes up and asks Vicky to cancel the CM Punk Ryback match. Vicky says Punk's scared of Ryback. Heyman gets mad and walks off. So, at this point, I really, really think someone's going to come up and say, Cena versus Ziggler. So then we go into the Team Hell No versus Team Rhodes Scholars for the Tag Team Titles match. Daniel Bryan and Damian Sandow started it off. Then Sandow quickly tagged Cody Rhodes after Bryan tagged Kane. Bryan was very vicious in this match, and I love that about him because I've seen his indie stuff, you know, and when he choked Justin Roberts and got fired for it, I just love that Daniel Bryan, you know. Bryan said no while talking with his hands, like, no! And he actually hits referee Jack Doan in the face. You can see Jack Doan go, God, jackass. Bryan goes for like a suicide dive onto both of them, but Cody Rhodes apparently thought he should have moved instead of get hit, so he did. Then, I know I'm talking about Daniel Bryan a lot, but this match wasn't that long at all. It was maybe about, I want to say 10-15 minutes. He tags himself in. Kane and Bryan argue. Bryan accidentally hits Kane when he's on the outside of the ring. Team Hell No argued again. Rhodes Scholar went for a double baseball slide, like, here's Damian Sandow going to do it to Daniel Bryan, here's, you know, Cody Rhodes going to do it to Kane, but they both ended up doing it to Kane, because Damian Sandow botched it a little bit. And if you don't know what botch means, if this is your first ever wrestling thing that you're watching, botch is a mess up. Kane got mad, attacked both members of Rhodes Scholars in the ring, and the rest counting 1, 2, 3, you know, giving him to the count of 5. He gets himself disqualified, but they keep the belts. So that was kind of like a lackluster ending to this whole tournament. Like I said, I want Team Rhodes Scholars to win. Or I thought they were. Then Matthews interviews The Miz, and right before he interviews The Miz, they show a promo for Doomsday Preppers because I guess they were sponsoring the show. So The Miz incorporates Doomsday Preppers into his promo on Kofi Kingston. And then it's time for their match. Normal start. They go to the outside. Kofi goes to throw Miz into the stairs, but Miz reverses it. Kofi Kingston then does like a diving roll over it and comes back. And The Miz runs behind him while he's doing that diving roll. So when he came back, Miz was on the stairs and a big boot to the face. It was just a cool exchange between those two during that. Then they do another exchange of stuff. Kofi Kingston goes for the SOS. Then it gets countered into that's that neck spring they used to do back in like 2006, 2007. Then gets a neck breaker with Miz's knee. And then Miz goes for his regular neck breaker, you know, that combo that he does. But then that gets reversed. Miz goes for a snapmare, which gets reversed and turned into a SOS for a 2 count. Miz then targets the knee, and this was very good. Miz removes the left boot and left knee pad from Kofi Kingston and puts him into a half crab. Kofi Kingston misses the Trouble with Paradise. Miz got thrown out of the ring, came back into the ring, and gets hit with the Trouble in Paradise again. Like I said, the match only lasted 5 to 7 minutes. I wish it was longer, because even Tyson Kidd put on there, this is going to steal the show. And it could have easily if they would have let it, if they would have gone longer. Striker gets in the ring, interview Kofi Kingston, and Kofi Kingston thanks The Miz for bringing out the Wildcat in him. Bringing out this other side. Then they do a WrestleMania 29 promo, which, you know, I know they just sold the tickets, but I don't want to be seeing the promo yet. I want to be seeing the promo come around next month, Survivor Series time, or maybe even Armageddon time, or, you know, definitely Royal Rumble time. That's when I want to start seeing them. Not in frickin' October. Then they go back to the locker room, and they're Daniel Bryan and Kane arguing. And Kane goes, "Oh, McDonald had a goat, E-I-E-I-O." And they argue. Then one of them walks off. And then this is a match that I heard about earlier because Justin Gabriel had touted it and they were talking about it. It's Justin Gabriel versus Antonio Cesaro for the U.S. title in their rubber match. Because Antonio Cesaro won the first time. Justin Gabriel beat him on Raw, and this was going to be the third match. And this one's for the title. Cesaro dominated Gabriel at first. Then Gabriel does this top rope lion salt. Lionheart Chris Jericho used to do a one off the middle ropes where he springboarded and did a moonsault, but Justin Gabriel did it off the top. They go back and forth. Justin Gabriel misses the 450 splash, but continued to move while he was doing it. He throws Cesaro to the outside, then is going for a springboard vault, and Cesaro just boom, European uppercut. Moves his deadweight body into the ring, hits the neutralizer, a deadweight neutralizer on him. And that was a good match. And I actually said during this match, and right before this match, I tweeted to Tyson Kidd, said at Tyson Kidd, I think, at Justin_Gabriel, or whatever it is, __ Gabriel, and Antonio Cesaro, at Antonio Cesaro are going to steal the show. And right after the match, he tweeted me back saying, I think you're right, or something along those lines. And I give that one 5, 6, maybe even a 7, because it was actually a good match. For being such a short match, it was that good. Then they showed the Layla breast cancer ad, and feel for your mom. My mom's side of the family really suffers from breast cancer, so yeah. Then they show a Ryback promo. And I'm going to put it out there again, I already said it, but hashtag fire Ryback. Have Vicky and Heyman part 2, as I am now calling it. Heyman thanks Vicky for canceling the Punk Ryback match, but it's not canceled. She's like, who told you that? It's not canceled. And then Heyman walks away. Then this is a match I did not know about. It was Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara versus the Primetime Players. Justin Roberts does the announcing on this, and because they're Raw superstars. Rey Mysterio has Sin Cara on the back of his mask, but the Rey Mysterio mask on the front, and Sin Cara has it the other way around. That was pretty cool. And then JBL decides to insult my football team's coach, Steve Spurrier. He says, you know what's the difference between Steve Spurrier and God? God doesn't want us to be Steve Spurrier. So you know what, JBL? Kiss my white ass. Titus O'Neil from the Primetime Players, he dominated Sin Cara there for a little while. Darren Young came in, and he went for a backdrop, but Sin Cara reverses it into like a pin, which was cool. Then Titus O'Neil comes back in and grabs Sin Cara and says, speak English! And then they isolate him a little bit more, and then O'Neil says, I'll show you how a real football team can do, and it gets down in the 3-point stance to go do a tackle into Sin Cara, who's in the ropes, because he went to Florida for the Florida Gators, and he actually played for Steve Spurrier, and he was trying to insult the Georgia Bulldogs, which I thought was funny. Then Sin Cara got a hot tag. Rey Mysterio took out the Primetime Players. Sin Cara does a crossbody onto Titus O'Neil on the outside of the ring, but earlier in the match, he hurt his head because he went for a flipping reverse DDT thing, and didn't move his head in time, and boom, landed right on the top of his head. So after the match, he was laying there going, ugh. I hope he's okay, don't get me wrong, but anyway, Rey Mysterio got the 619 on D Young, and then he dropped it down for the 3 count. And I almost, got to go the whole match with giving Sin Cara his props for not botching, but no. To me, he's still Senor El Bacho. Oh, I gave that match a 6-star for the pay-per-view, I guess. Then they showed the Rolling Stones promo, then the World Heavyweight Championship match promo, and then Sheamus and the Big Show matches up. Big Show came out, showed off his strength, then they went back and forth, then they showed Ziggler in the back, because he guaranteed to cash in his Money in the Bank tonight, the Money in the Bank contract. This Sheamus took it to Show for a while. Show then throws Sheamus into the guardrail like a ragdoll. He just raw. Then the crowd's cheering for both competitors. They're going, let's go Sheamus, let's go Big Show. And Sheamus, Big Show, Sheamus. And then they show Sheamus's chest from all the chops that Big Show was doing to him. He's bleeding. I mean, Big Show was chopping the shoot out of him. Again, and Big Show just chucks him over the announce booth at Cole, JBL, and JR. Show got a near fall on Sheamus. Sheamus tried to fight back, but Show stopped him. Show then did a Vader bomb onto Sheamus. Sheamus countered the chokeslam with a DDT. Sheamus did his clubbing blows that, that he does normally on the apron, but Show was in the corner and he got on the top rope with BAM! Only did a few of them. Show went for a chokeslam again. Kicked away from it, then the battering ram from the top rope. Show did chokeslam Sheamus, but only for 2. They fought on the outside of the ring again. Sheamus got the Celtic Cross, aka the White Noise or whatever he likes to call it, on Show for a 2. Fans chanting bro kick or brogue. Show caught it and hit him with the KO punch. Got a 2 count. Show went for it again, the KO punch, but Sheamus ducked and caught him with the brogue for a 2 count. Sheamus went for the brogue again. Show sidestepped him. Boom! Knocked Sheamus. Just knocked him out for the 3. And Show's face right afterwards. Like, yes, I finally did it. I gave that one an 8 for this pay-per-view. If that would have been a WrestleMania, I would have probably gave it a 6. And then they had a little segment to where Eve tried to talk to Booker T, but he had to go check on Sheamus because Sheamus was holding his face the whole time. Then Teddy Long came and they got into it a little bit, him and Eve. Zack Ryder then came dressed as a witch and said he was the scariest witch in the WWE, Eve. Then Eve walked away, and then Santino came and dressed in like Lady Gaga. Then Farouk, aka Ron Simmons, came, looked, and went, gave his vintage or classic, damn! Then it cut to Vince McMahon on his phone, and CM Punk told him to call out the match. Vince told Punk to go out there into the ring and prove that you're the best in the world. Went into the Divas match. Layla and Caitlyn got rid of Eve really quick. Then those two had trades of about 15 near falls back and forth. Eve comes back and gets rid of Layla, then punishes Caitlyn's injured leg. Layla and Eve go at it. Eve and Layla hit a double split thing on the mat, and then Caitlyn comes hobbling in and knocks their heads together. That was funny. Then she applies an armbar on Layla. Eve comes back in, and each girl, all 3 of them, hit about 5 pinfalls on the other 2. 3, 5, 2. Whatever area code that is. Hit me up. Just playing. Caitlyn power slams Layla like British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith style. She, boom! Eve hits, and I use the quotes because she didn't even touch her. Hits a swanton from the top rope on Caitlyn while Caitlyn was pinning Layla. Eve moves Caitlyn out the way to pin Layla for the 3. She showed the CM Punk Revolution WWE 13 ad, which I really love. Then Josh Matthews interviews Show, who challenged anybody in the locker room to come take the title. Then they cut to Matt Striker, who's trying to interview Sheamus, but Sheamus is sitting there on the trainer's tables, with the doctor/trainer. And they show the CM Punk Ryback promo. Yeah, Punk, when he comes out first, and when he's getting into the cell, he shakes Paul Heyman's hand and gives him a hug. And before Ryback even gets out there, the fans are going, Goldberg, Goldberg, Goldberg. CM Punk immediately escapes the ring once the match starts. Chants start again. The CM Punk chants start. CM Punk ducks and dodges Ryback a few times, and then Ryback dominates for a minute or 2. Punk gets 1 hit, then Ryback dominates while fans chant Goldberg unmercilessly. Heyman distracts Ryback while Punk sprays a fire extinguisher in Ryback's face. Ryback punches a chair into Punk's face when Punk has the chair. Punk finally starts to take it to Ryback with a neck breaker on the floor. He gets the chair and hits him. Ryback charges at Punk while he's in, or on the outside. Punk sidesteps Ryback, and Ryback hits the stairs. Shoulder first. Punk hits his corner knee. The corner knee that he does. He then clotheslines him, and then gets on the top rope and does the Macho Man elbow drop. Punk hits Ryback with a kendo stick / Singapore cane 7 times with hardly any effect. And then after about, actually, the 6th time he smiles, the 7th time he kind of catches it and liked it. Ryback hits Punk with the meat hook clothesline, puts him up in the shock position, marches around the ring, and right before he goes to run, ref tells him stops, drops down, low blows him with the left arm. Punk schoolboys him up. The ref gets on the other side, holds his legs down too. 1, 2, 3. Awesome shocker. Punk couldn't get out the cell, and Ryback attacks the ref and Punk. Ryback chucks the ref from the ring over the top rope into the cell walls. Punk escapes the cell, and Ryback chases Punk. Heyman runs off with the belt, chases Punk up to the top, gives him a shell shock on the top, and then just stands with his foot over Punk the whole time. And then the pay-per-view ends. And I give that a 5-star for a match, because the match wasn't long at all. But I give it a 9-star shocker with the ref. And 344 days. Punk will be the WWE champ. Almost a full year. Hopefully he makes it, because I really like Punk. And one last time before I cut this little segment, this little video for you guys, and edit it together and put it on my YouTube page, #FireRyback.